a system of satellites, natural disasters have become a thing of the past. We can control our weather.
Get ready to brave the storm in the new disaster action thriller called Geostorm, starring Jim Sturgess as a Secret Service agent who, along with his brother, played by Gerard Butler, must try to prevent a man-made storm of epic proportions, plus save the president from an assassination attempt, all in a day's work. Jim is here this morning to tell us all about Geostorm that will no doubt take over the big screen next Friday. Welcome, Jim. Jim,
thank you.
It is so good to have you back here. I know you've been here for TIFF, so you're familiar with Toronto.
Yeah, most of the times I've come to Toronto, it's always been for the festival. Yeah. So it's nice to kind of be here when it's a slightly calmer environment.
Yeah, and the weather
Not that this is a calm environment.
No, we're crazy in here. I was lucky enough to see this screener last week, and it is, man, it is timely. It focuses on climate change in the not-too-distant future, politics, power, corruption, and man's hand in trying to control things. So all of these heavy ideas, and then it's down to the core of you and your brother, Gerard Butler, and the family unit and being there for one another. What drew you to this story and wanting to be a part of telling it?
Pretty much everything you just said on that list. I mean, it just kind of ticked a lot of boxes, yeah. I mean, first and foremost, you know, I was asked to get involved by Warner Brothers, and you know, it's a big, fun, exciting, you know, blockbuster splash on the screen, you know, but it does come with a very sort of deliberate and very, you know, significant message about sort of things like climate change. But, you know, really at the heart of it, it's a roller coaster sort of fun movie to be involved in.
It's a thrill ride.
I just wanted to save the world, you know, in a movie.
You know, and work with Gerard Butler, a stellar cast, you know, truly.
Yeah, well, that was another thing, the cast. When I found out who else was involved, and I found out actors like Ed Harris, who I'd worked with before, and I was really excited to work with again, Andy Garcia, Abby Cornish. I mean, yeah, like I said, it was just ticking every box that you could wish for.
And the special effects are truly incredible. What was it like when you got to screen the film and see, without giving too much away, what they were able to capture, the simulations?
Yeah, I mean, watching the film kind of blew my mind, because, I mean, like, the film is almost two films. As one, my character's story is basically set on the ground, very much at the White House. He's kind of trying to figure out what's happening on a ground level. Gerard's story is up in space as he's sort of going through his own sort of journey up in space. So I didn't get to see or be involved in much of the kind of explosions and the space stuff. So it felt like I was shooting a very real drama sort of down on the ground. And it wasn't until I saw the movie and saw the scale of, you know, what they've managed to achieve that it kind of blew my mind.
And it is so timely. I mean, unfortunately, in lieu of all the events we've been seeing around the world with hurricanes, and you see the devastation, and you think, ooh, what if we could create something like this movie does, the satellite system that controls the climate? But then what if it does go on the fritz? And how much, you know, faith do we put in technology and man's responsibility? So there's all those big questions, too.
I mean, I saw those questions, and I mean, geoengineering, which is something I knew nothing about and something I sort of read into because I was a part of the film, you know, is a real thing. I mean, you know, humans are developing a science to kind of help control and manipulate certain aspects of the weather. So the film kind of looks into the not-so-distant future, like you talked about, and says, well, how far is this going to go, and what problems are going to come with it?
And as we mentioned, at the heart of it, it is uplifting, and the bromance, if you want to call it that, between you and Gerard is real. Did you guys instantly, like, hit it off on set? I mean, it seems like you really are bros.
Yeah, I mean, Jerry comes with a particular mischief behind his eyes. You know, he's a good guy to hang around with. And, yeah, so, I mean, like, instantly, and he's so sort of experienced in making these kind of bigger films, which I'm not so much, you know, it's not the kind of movies that I'm used to making. So to be with him and a director like Dean Devlin, who was involved in like films like Independence Day, you felt like you were surrounded by people who knew this kind of world.
Well, you did an amazing job.
Yeah, and Jerry's he's just a big kid, basically.
He is, isn't he?
As he is in the movie.
Well done. It is thought-provoking, it is thrilling, it is funny, and it is heartwarming. You did a brilliant job.
Thank you.
And you guys get to check it out next Friday. It is called Geostorm.
Yeah.
And you are going to take over, Mr. Sturgess. Thank you so much. BreakfastTelevision.ca for more information.
Thank you very much. Real pleasure.
Enjoy the city.
All right, cool.
Right now we're going to throw things over to Mel.